Just before we start this podcast, I was so set on it being episode 10, the double digit one, but it's actually episode 9, and I figured that out halfway through the podcast, so enjoy. Yo, welcome to the Peachfuzzpodcast, episode 10, finally in the double digits. It's 2019, and yeah, what the fuck's been up, guys? How are you? Keeping to the upload schedule, basically, trying to, I guess. Got myself 3 beers. Been drinking a little bit before, you know, just to kind of loosen up the vocal cords. I've been doing good. How's your day? How's your day been? Don't know when this is gonna go out. I'll upload it on the Monday, you know. Try and keep to the schedule that I promised when I started the podcast. But yeah, we're in the double digits. I've been doing this since I can't really say I've been doing it since June. Can I don't know. Is that legal? Is it legal to say that I've been doing something? Jesus Christ. Is it legal to say I've been doing something since June if I've been doing it on and off? You tell me. I don't know. First podcast of the new year. I've been feeling good. My resolutions this year, got a couple of them. Talked about on my Snapchat vlog. I want to do more for the channel, of course. I want to keep to the upload schedule that I promised in my update video. You know, week 1 podcast, week 2 live action, week 3 podcast, week 4 live action. And someone said to me, but your first video back was a live action, so you've already broke your schedule. Not necessarily, because week 1 I didn't have anything, so yeah, I did break it, but week 1 would have been a podcast. I recorded a podcast, but it was really messy, and it was a really drunk podcast, so taking it easy this time, just a couple of beers, you know, to ease myself back into it. It's currently 25 to 12 on the 11th of January, and we're just doing a podcast to roll in the new year, I guess. I said that about 4 times now, but my other resolution is to stop doing self-destructive things. And you're probably like, what the fuck is that? A self-destructive thing is like smoking or excessive drinking or drugs. I just want to better myself, you know. I don't want to inhale tobacco anymore. I love vaping, so you know, can't really give that up. Now I'll cut down on vaping. I vape CBD now as well, which is really epic. Basically like not high weed oil. Just relaxes you. It gives you that feeling of smoking a cigarette, you know, like that immediate stress relief and wooziness, but without the wooziness. People are like, ew, you smoke cigarettes and you get woozy, you're a pussy. That's the only reason I like smoke cigarettes. It's to get that nicotine high. That's the only reason anyone smokes cigarettes. If you don't get like just immediate relief off a cigarette, why do you smoke? Explain that to me. Like I don't know why else you would fucking smoke. It doesn't make sense to me. How's life been for me? Yeah, I rang in the new year a nice way. Went out with my friends partying. I broke dry January, like the fucking 2nd of January when I done tequila shots with my mate Alex. Can I even tell? Yeah, I don't care. Fucking course I'm gonna tell you stories. This is like our intimate little podcast kiss. I got your woman at the bar to record a video. I was taking tequila shots for the new year, and it was really good. And then Alex got his phone back off her. As soon as he got back, he grabbed it in such a way that it deleted the Snapchat video. So I was like, fuck it, I'll order another round of shots. Gave her the phone. She was like, okay, I'll do it again. He proceeded to do the exact same thing again, like literally the exact same fucking thing. He took the phone back, held it weird, and like deleted the video. So I'm like, you're getting the next round. He's like, okay, fair enough. Get her to record it again. He done it again. We couldn't take 3 rounds of tequila shots within the first fucking 2 minutes. Like, we could not just do another one. Like, it was fucked. News with the music. I think it's safe to talk about this now because I'm pretty sure it's underway. We have a gig. We don't have the venue booked yet. I'm not sure, but we're part of a gig. I don't know which college is doing it, but a music course in some college in Dublin. One of our friends is in it, another rapper, and he basically secured us a spot in the gig as long as it goes ahead. So yeah, keep an eye on the NEEESH Instagram at NEEESH Radio to see when that is. You can go to a NEEESH gig, trying to get some merch worked on. We're on like every fucking streaming service and music downloading service possible. If I was thinking about, I haven't run this by Alex yet, but if we get enough like demand for our music, I might like make a vinyl or something. I looked into it's not that expensive as long as you get people to buy it. It's really not that expensive, but we're currently We're gonna make like 2 more singles and then cut cold turkey. There'll be an update on the fucking NEEESH channel for that, explain what we're doing. We're just gonna take a break after we make 2 more singles to work on a full like proper album with like themes and really high quality music, because making a song in 2 weeks, like, it's easy to do. It's really not that hard, but our songs could be so much better if we took a little bit more time and just went fully at the music, you know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. I started my year just kind of flexing on what I did in 2018, which wasn't that much, but if you add up my 2 channels to get together, I got 200 subscribers on 2 completely different projects. It was pretty insane, starting from an idea to do a fucking podcast. The first podcast has over 400 views, by the way. Thanks for that. Really appreciate it. Still gets views. Every time I make a new video, people go back and they're just like, oh, you have a podcast? And I was like, yeah, that's my air freshener. If you just heard it, it fucking does that. It's gonna do that like every fucking 8 minutes. I suppose that's a good way to calculate time, I guess. It doesn't really feel weird talking to this anymore. I don't know, I'm used to it. Progress on my newest video, which I don't think anyone on my channel is gonna like. Well, there'll be a couple, but it's not really as I said before, there's no format to my channel, so I'll just make what I want. I really want to make this video. It's about gaming and alcohol. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I got a green screen. I'm fucking working on clips to put in the background of the video, then I'm gonna record it. I have a script written for it. Like, it's a proper video. It's not just like me making fun of rappers or me making fun of someone or KSI and Logan Paul or some other bullshit that I made on my channel. There'll still be jokes in it. It's not gonna be serious, but it's gonna be like an essay, I suppose. And yeah, I'm really proud of what I've made so far, and I've learned how to use a fucking green screen, which was not hard at all. Sony Vegas makes everything so fucking easy. Like, if you want to make YouTube videos, get Sony Vegas. I'm not going to tell you how to get it. I'm not going to tell you if you should buy it or not buy it. I'm not going to talk about any of that. You should totally buy it though. You should not illegally download it on Pirate Bay and get a key cracker and look up a tutorial on YouTube how to exactly do all those things. You really shouldn't do that. You should pay full price for it. It's a ridiculously high price. You should pay that for the editing software. And you should do it legitly the way I did it, of course, but allegedly there is other ways to do it. I don't condone those ways. I did it legitly. Sony Vegas is really fucking easy to use. That's what I use to edit all my videos, and the learning curve isn't hard. The software looks difficult to use, but it's really fucking streamlined, and it's really easy. You do have to have a knack for video editing. It's weird. It's not something that you can just jump into. You have to like actually want to be able to do it. Start with Windows Movie Maker. It sounds so dumb, but start somewhere and realize if you actually want to do that, because like getting into something like that is hard, I guess. It's not for everyone, is what I would say. It's not hard, but it's not for everyone. Like, I record test footage, I upload it to YouTube unlisted, I download it because I record everything on my iPhone. That's the easiest way to do that, if you're wondering. I record all my audio on my microphone, and then I just like do a clap and I sync up the clap in the video with the audio take, if you get me, and it just runs smooth most of the time. Yeah, editing is not that hard. Like, if you want to do an exact thing, you just look up how to do that exact thing, and usually moving an image is also animating, is also keyframing, is also cropping, panning, scaling, chroma keying. Like, this all editing mumbo jumbo. You probably don't care about any of this, but it's really easy to do. You just have to actually want to fucking do it, I guess. Take a sip of my brew. Drinking Canadian. I really like Canadian. It's hard to get in tap, like in a fucking bar. I know a couple of bars that do it. I don't really like drinking out anyway. I don't know. I'm turned off going out. I'm not an introvert, but I prefer my own company to others' company, and I feel like that's so obvious to me. Like, I just prefer being on my own. I prefer being quiet and being to myself. I like going out and doing things, but I really do prefer just relaxing and just my own time. Like, I'm my own best friend. I think that's why I have such a high ego. It's because I just spend so much time with myself. It's just like, I have to love myself. Like, if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. It's just a fact. And I 100% love myself. I'm such a fucking me freak. I started taking ZMA. If you don't know what that is, it's zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. It's fucking. I heard the Blind Boy podcast. My man Blind Boy. I read his book as well. It was a really good book. You should get it. The World According to Blind, the Gospel According to Blind Boy is what's called. It's like a tenner or something. Go get it. But yeah, he was talking about ZMA, this miracle that's basically, according to him, it's the closest thing to a steroid without actually being a steroid. And it basically just, for me, it's just boosting my testosterone completely, because I don't give a fuck about going to the gym. It balances out your electrolytes and shit, whatever that means. It improves your sleep quality, your muscle repair time or something, I don't know. And for me, my sex drive completely, like, this shit is crazy. It's like 15 quid a bottle on My Protein. This is not sponsored. I highly fucking recommend it. He said it'll have you wanking like you're 14. I say that's lies. It'll have you wanking like you're 12. Okay. Oh, I just said my full name. Nah, let's bleep that. Peachfuzz gets called a nonce exposed on his own podcast. Anyways, new video's going well. I've been listening to a lot of Machine Gun Kelly. Let's start bringing back album of the week. Album of the week this week is, I don't know if I fucking dropped this before. I might have been like podcast 7 or 8. Wait, is this podcast 8, 9 or 10? Fuck, if this is podcast 9, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Please don't be podcast 9. Don't be podcast 9, because I'm just here like double digits. I'm so epic. Look at me. It's not even podcast 10. It's podcast 9. Oh my god, I just checked there. Oh no. Right, I'm gonna have to edit like fucking everything at the start of this podcast. Computer is not handling this podcast very well. It's like fucking choppy as shit. I hope the audio is good. But yeah, what are you gonna talk about? You spent fucking 13 minutes ranting about absolutely nothing. Let's go through my notes, because I usually write down podcast topics on shit I want to talk about. My life's not that interesting anymore because it's not summer and I'm not off doing stuff every like fucking 10 minutes. You know what I mean? I have a folder called podcast ideas. It's in my notes on my iPhone, and there's 11 notes in it. I used to kind of actually plan the podcast, and I just stopped doing that because I got guests on. Oh yeah, Alex will be returning to the podcast along with anyone else who wants to fucking do podcasts with me. Alex wants to do it again, and he will do it again. A couple of other people said they want to do it, but it's just getting people up to where I fucking live, and like having free time off work, both years or college, and then actually wanting to sit down and talk for an hour in front of a fucking microphone, because a lot of people have never done it before. There's a lot of raps in this fucking shit. Right, so my topics are generational gap, time travel, art, the education system, personal stories, learn a new thing. Jesus Christ. Ryan on the 13th of July 2018 at 10:32 was very fucking eager about all this, wasn't he? My interest, drug stories. Let's save them till I actually like can make money off something that fucking, like, I don't want to jeopardize my career. I don't even have one yet. I don't want to jeopardize it. Hypotheticals, questions, go through my dream journal from 4th year. I definitely done that on a podcast, and if I haven't, I'll fucking do it. Snapchat me if I didn't do it before. Death, gender, what the fuck, what would I say about gender? Okay, we have some interesting topics here. Let's tell a little personal story. This is the 8-minute mark, I guess. Let's tell a story about the time I was 14 and I went hitchhiking with my stepbrother. This is a weird story. I rolled up the sleeves, get yourself comfy, get yourself a little hot chocolate, and just snuggle into bed there and listen to this great story. I think back in the day, like 2015, I wanted to be a YouTuber like Leafy, and I used to play CSGO Serve all the time, and I was actually pretty good at it, so like, don't even at me. And yeah, I wanted to make story time videos, but then I realized I was 16 and like I didn't have that many. Jump to 19, I could fucking make about 200 of them, because I realized what most of them say is just fake, and it's just the way they tell a story. I find that so crazy, the way some people can just tell a story and it's just really good. Like, they could tell you the fucking most bland ass story, but it's just them that makes it. They could tell you about the time they got goldfish in Newlands Garden Centre in Newlands Cross even, and they just like, it'd be so interesting for no reason. But anyway, yeah, so me and my stepbrother Rodrigo that's not his fucking real name, like, I don't want to name drop other people without their permission, but me and Rodrigo had just finished swimming down our local swim spot, and we wanted to go hang out with our peers. So we wanted to get a lift off our parents, but I think they were about out drinking at the time, because it was like late enough. It was like 7 o'clock in summer, so like people would drink at that time. Like that's not unheard of in Ireland. And if you're wondering why I'm saying in Ireland, it's because I have a lot of fucking fans from Turkey. Apparently, I don't ask. YouTube analytics are just don't ask. We were looking for a lift, we couldn't get one, so we go hitchhiking. I'd never done this before. This is like the fucking, don't do this. This is just sketchy. So we hitchhike. We stick our thumbs out, and some farmer in a tractor pulls up. He's like, "Where are you going, boys?" Like, we're going home. We're wearing our shorts. We have our towels on. Like, we're going home to get changed so we can go hang out with our boys. Sorry about that. Sorry if that broke the illusion. I'm not perfect. So we're hanging out with our boys, and we want to hang out with our boys. See, I'm not one of those good storytellers. Like, I'm really not. Because I don't write this down. Like, this is all off the cuff, and my mind works at like a million miles an hour. I'm so good at speaking English. Yeah, so we want to go hitchhiking. We want to go out to our boys. Jesus Christ. Right, recap. Finished swimming spot. Parents can't give us a lift because they were drinking. Put our thumbs out on the side of the road. We're wearing shorts. We have a towel on our back. Put our thumbs out. Farmer stops. "Where are you off, lads?" We just want to go home into the town because that's the way he was going. And he was like, "Yeah, no bother. Jeez, I haven't seen someone fucking hitchhiking about 40 years. And we're just like, "Yeah, he's a bit creepy," but he gave us a lift as far as we like needed to go. And we were like, "Oh, thanks." And we're like, we had that confidence build up because we just fucking hitchhiked. We were like, yeah, we fucking hitchhiked. We were like, yeah, we can just do that again. Just get a lift up to our friends who live like literally a 4-hour walk away, but like a 20-minute drive. So we're just like, yeah, what if we just fucking go home, get changed, get our like 6 bottles of beer that we definitely fucking robbed, and sneak out. So we're just like, we get our bags ready. My bike is punctured, so that's why we can't cycle, and we're just not really cycling in the hot sun at 7 o'clock, because cycling's grand, but then you have to cycle home. So we stick out our thumbs at the local primary school, and a fucking, I think it was like an Opel Corsa or something, some absolute shit box. It probably a Nissan Micra, let's say, a 98 one with rust on the fucking wings, and the door hinges barely worked. And these lads, they roll down the window real slow after stopping for us. Well, they didn't really stop. We had our thumbs out and they stopped up a bit. So we walk up, they roll down the window, and just fucking clouds and clouds of smoke just leave the car, just and we're just like, what the fuck? And they're like, "It was fucking really hitchhiking, boys." There's 3 lads in the car. There's 2 in the front smoking what I thought was a cigarette. Only later in life would I realise they were just smoking weed, like hotboxing while driving, and one sketchy bloke in the back. So we're just like, yeah, we're just looking to go to, I'm gonna bleep out the town. 20-minute mark, right? Sweet. We just want to go to the local town, not our local town, the actual local town, because ours was tiny and had no one in it. And they were like, yeah, go on, hop in the car. So we get in the back beside this sketchy bloke, and we're like, they're driving so quick, they're driving so fucking fast, and they're on the phone to someone, and they're like screaming at them. We're like, haha, we have 2 boys in the back of the car, will we take them with us? And we're like, alright, this is our life over. We had one good hitchhike and we're getting fucking kidnapped. Like, this is the end of us, Rodrigo. We are dead. We are fucking doomed. And like, he's answering on like a fucking shitty Nokia, and he's like, you hear the fella in the front being like a voice of reason, like the one driving. He was sound. He was like, leave the fucking boys alone, don't be fucking scaring them, leave the boys alone. So like, we're just kind of relieved that there's like one person with fucking common sense in here to not kidnap 2 people. But yeah, the fella in the back beside us is like real fucking sketchy, and we're like approaching the town, and he asks us like, do we have the time? And I had an iPhone 5 at the time. That's how old this story is. Like, an iPhone 5 was a new phone. Like, I think it was the top of the range phone at the time. Maybe the 5S was. I don't care. But I'm not taking out my phone to fucking tell these lads at the time. I'm not getting robbed after getting a lift off them. So Rodrigo's like, we both like stall and look at each other for a minute, and then he says again, do you have the time, boys? So Rodrigo takes out his phone, which is like a cracked up 4. So they're just like, he's like, like 6 O2. And he's like, okay. So anyway, they drop us to like the top of the bigger town. And he's just, as soon as we get out, he's just like, word of advice, don't ever fucking take out your phone like that again, lad. It could get robbed. Then they all start laughing and fucking bomb off down the road. And we're just like, what the fuck? Like, how are we not dead? Like, why did those lads spare us? Like, so, long story short, we get to the fucking, we get up, we still have to walk like about an hour. Yeah, about an hour. Sorry for burping again. So we walk for about an hour, and we get to like the town before the town where they lived. Ireland is just full of fucking towns. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just full of towns and villages. It's like 2 cities, but everything else is just towns and villages. So we get to the shop in one of these towns. I'm going to fucking like buy my shit. Rodrigo sees the bus and fucking pegs it for it with his shit in hand. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? And then I run out like nearly missing it. Rodrigo didn't pay for his shit in the shop. He just laid down. He's like, oh shit, I didn't pay for it. Yeah, so then we just go hang out with our friends, and I don't remember how we got home, but we definitely didn't hitchhike. I think we might got, I don't know, I really don't know how we got home, but we got home. I'm still alive here doing podcasts now. But that was my crazy fucking hitchhiker stories. Do I have any more? Nah, we hitchhiked a couple of times like after that too, because we were just like, nothing can be worse with that. Hitchhiking is like, I don't recommend it, because just don't do that. It's just not safe, especially if you're like fucking really young or a girl. Like, if it was only one of us doing it that day, if we would have well got like hopped by those lads. But yeah, I like the way I can tell stories like that now that I'm older, and like look back at them and just be like, yeah, well, that was kind of funny. Like, I get the comedic side to that, so I don't really fucking mind as much. I don't think it, like, it's harmless now looking back, but in the moment that we were petrified. But I'm glad that I have that story to tell as well, if you get me. Like, I have loads of those. The 8-minute mark, jeez, time is actually flying. I'm glad that I have those stories to tell now that I'm older, because I feel like the fucking generation growing up now, Gen Z or something, I think I still class, do I class as a millennium? I was born in 99. Am I like the gen before millenniums? Is that millennials? Yeah, that's it. I don't know which generation I'm from. I don't really fucking care either. Like, we're all the same. Apart from this generation growing up, the fucking Fortnite generation. Like, they're not gonna have any like cool stories, because the world is like way too fucking PC now. Like, the content that I wanted to make on YouTube, I could never make, because my channel would just get deleted, and then I just seem like a fucking bigot, even if I was just joking. Like, you actually can't joke anymore, because everyone's just scared of offending people. I fucking hate the world we live in. I fucking really do. I can't wait till like I have a career in something that isn't like a fucking office job or some bullshit that you need a college degree for, even though you don't need one. Like, I can't wait till I'm just at a certain point in my life where I can just make the gunkiest fucking content ever and just do what I want, and I'll still have a following, and I'll still be making more money than anyone sitting in fucking CIT. You know, that's my ambition in life. I just want to be happy doing something I love, not something I was forced into. I was listening to the radio and work today, and I was on about like the biggest influence to a fucking an Irish person picking a college career is their ma. And I was just like, what? Like, your parents are actually like, why? The immediate thought that came to my mind is just like ma rivalries. Like your ma, like, imagine how proud your ma is going to be like, oh yeah, my young fucking Daryl, he's in the guards, so he is. Like, she doesn't want you to be a bricklayer, even though that's like a grand job and it might suit you better. They're just gonna want the, like, not the best for you, the best sounding for you. Don't pick a career based on what your fucking parents think. Like, seriously, please don't do that. You'll live a life of regret, and I don't know, just do what you want to do Do what makes you happy, and really don't just think about it, don't dream about it, do it. Like, actually go out and fucking try and do what you want to do. If it doesn't work, like, at least you tried. You're gonna come off a better person, and like, maybe it will work. Like, you can't fail unless you try. So if you just want to fucking live your life doing nothing, that's fine by me. I really don't care. But someone else is just gonna do what you want to do, and you're gonna be so envious of that person. Anyways, I've been fucking rambling for 27 minutes, and I feel like that's the perfect like amount of time for like a podcast with just me, if you get me, because I'm not doing hot takes, I'm not fucking teaching you history, I'm just talking. I'm just having a couple of cold brews and talking to you. If you're still in your car or at home and you have podcast fever, of course, go back and watch the other 8 episodes. I can't believe I was going on like this is the double digit episode for the whole time. Go back and watch the other ones. The next one I do will have Alex on it more than likely, so it'll be a bit longer, it'll be a bit funnier, you know yourself. Have a good fucking week. Have a good week. Monday's over. Whether you're in school, whether you're in college, whether you're working, Monday is fucking over. It's 4 days till Friday. Have a good one. Be nice to your fucking parents. That's so fucking weird. And if you wanna listen to other good podcasts, like while you wait for the next episode of this one, and you've already listened to all my songs, all my podcasts, and watched all my videos, and added me on Snapchat and followed me on every social media possible, and bought all my music, go listen to Super Mega Cast, Sleepy Cast, Cold Ones, and what else? Blind Boy Podcast. And if you're feeling extra adventurous, what else have I been listening to? Listen to MGK's Bloom. I already said that. Fucking stellar album. What a fucking gent. That album is a stellar album from start to finish. It has something for everyone in it. I don't care if you don't like MGK because of Eminem. I didn't even know who he was till fucking he had the beef with Eminem. But I'm so glad that he fucking replied, because I love his music now. I opened my first bottle with my teeth before the podcast. That's a weird way to fucking end it. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambling till we get to 30 minutes at least on the recording. I'm going to cut this down so it's just finite, ready for your like journey home with your earphones in the back of the car while your man there are fighting about fucking coal or something. I don't know how you're living. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you're from. You're just listening to my voice, and that's great. So until next podcast, or if you are intrigued on the next video that I'm making, hopefully it will be out by next Friday. I can say that because I've been making clips and I'm really proud of them. And yeah, enjoy life till then. Sweet, bye.